Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with another installment of Building the Team. And so, finally it took a few weeks, but managed to do the Halloween build. Did it just a few days ago. Ended up using the Codex team, and only played 2 games, but broke even against Lucas from HeroClix headquarters, for long time friend of the channel. He's been on here before. I lost to his all Ghost Rider team, but I whittled him down to the Chase Ghost Rider from Captain America and the Avengers. So there is. That includes taking out a 2x2, the 2x2 Ghost Rider 1 million BC, which is Ghost Rider on a Fleming Mammoth. So yeah, there is the fact I took that down, and I took down a few, and yeah. So did pretty good. Then another member of our group who's appeared on headquarters a few times, Spencer. I actually took out his entire monster team, though. The dice really weren't with Spencer, so he could have completely wrecked house, but things just didn't work out the way he hoped they would. That's it. Against Lucas, I managed to roll at least 20 shape change rolls, so I've probably exhausted the successful shape change rolls I'm going to have for the rest of the year at the very least. But anyway, so what's this upcoming week's build? The title does give an odd, paint an odd picture to it, doesn't it? 1,000 points against the Iron Legion. So the basic idea is that Lucas is going to run a massive Stark Industries team, mostly consisting of Iron Mans, and all of us will each run the rest of us playing will each run a 1,000-point team to go up against that team. So, as it's looking like there will be four of us aside from Lucas. It'll be 4 1,000-point teams against a 4,000-point team. So yeah, I've maybe got a couple teams. I got a couple teams in mind. I actually did try to build a third, but yeah, I wasn't feeling it, and there just really wasn't room on here. So, anywho, first off, we've got ourselves a Minions of Thanos team because, hey, why not? It's always fun to run, well, the rarest figure I have in my collection. But yeah, anyway, first off, we've got 6 Outriders. And yeah, I'm sure I probably don't have to point this out, but the Outriders are the cannon fodder that Thanos and the Black Order used in Infinity War and Endgame. So they come in at 35 points apiece. We got 6 of them, so that's going to be 210 points out of 1,000. They have the Black Order, Minions of Thanos, Assassin, and Monster keywords, as well as improved movement, ignores hindering terrain and blocking terrain. Looking at their dial, we open up with a couple clicks of stealth, followed by a couple clicks of flurry. On attack, we have a special power, genetically engineered to gather information. Adjacent opposing characters can only target themselves or characters named Outrider with Outwit, Perplex, or Probability Control. Okay, that can be useful. This is followed by a couple clicks of Blaze Claw's Fangs. We got a full 4 clicks of Super Senses on defense, 2 clicks of Shape Change on damage, followed by 2 clicks of Perplex. Next up we have, because, well, why not have some fun? We've got a couple Thanos duplicates. These are from the Battle World set, and if I remember correctly, yeah, they popped up. They basically popped up in the Infinity Gauntlet segment of Secret Wars a few years back. So the two come in at 50 points apiece. They have the Battle World Other, Black Order, Minions of Thanos, and Cosmic Keywords. The trait they have only applies when they're being brought in at 25 points, so we're not going to worry about the trait. Looking at their dial, it's a short dial, but hey, 50 points, you know. We open up with a click of Sidestep, followed by a click of Phasing Teleport, followed by 2 clicks of Running Shot. On speed, on attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Precision Strike. Defense, we open up with a couple clicks of Toughness, which then gives way to a couple clicks of Invulnerability, so that's nice. On damage, we open up with a special power. Your gem is a pale imitation of the real thing, like you. Probability control, but only to re-roll an adjacent opposing character's attack roll. Okay. Which then gives way to regular prob. Now, a neat thing, of course, is the fact that the damage value goes up on those last 2 clicks to 4 from the previous 2 clicks of 3. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, also Indomitable, so, you know, potentially they might last a bit longer than one might think. Next up, we've got Corvus Glaive. Corvus here comes in at 90 points. He has the Black Order, Cabal, Minions of Thanos, Assassin, and Cosmic Keywords. We also have a trait, Cull Obsidian. When Corvus Glaive is KO'd by an opposing character's attack, after resolutions deal damage to that character equal to the last amount of damage dealt to Corvus Glaive. This damage can't be reduced below 1. Now, one perk of this is that more often than not, more often than not, you can get lucky and someone will just kind of run out with, you know, having boosted up a brick's damage pretty high, and they'll go after him and, oh yeah, I just hit you for 7, haha. Like, okay, well, you take 7 then. But my damage reducer says I do this. Like, that's nice, you take at least 1. Now, if they're taking out through a single target pulse wave, well, they're screwed. No feedback damage. Anyways, looking at Corvus's dial, we got ourselves 4 clicks of charge, followed by 3 clicks of sidestep. On attack, we open with 4 clicks of blades, followed by 3 clicks of special power. Come to me, my new glaive, which grants Corvus super strength. As a free action, you may destroy a piece of blocking terrain within 3 squares and roll a d6. On a 1 through 4, generate a light object. On a 5 or a 6, generate a heavy object. When Corvus Glaive makes a close object attack, instead of normal damage, you may roll a d6 and deal damage equal to the result +1 if using a light object, or the result +2 if using a heavy object. Okay. Then on defense, first and foremost, he's got Indomitable. We get a couple clicks of Invulnerability, followed by a couple clicks of Toughness. Then we move on to a special power. From my weapon, immortality flows. Combat reflexes and regeneration. Combat reflexes. Regeneration is free, but only if holding an object. When Corvus Glaive uses regeneration, after resolutions KO the held object. Finally, on damage, we open with a couple clicks of leadership, followed by 5 clicks of exploit weakness. So yeah, not bad at all, really. Next up, we've got Nebula from the chase figure from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Gravity Feed set. Nebula comes in at 100 points. She has the Guardians of the Galaxy, Minions of Thanos, Assassin, Cosmic, and Pilot keywords, as well as improved movement, ignores characters, and the trait Cutting Deep. Nebula can use Blades Lost Fangs. When she does, she may instead roll 2d6 and choose 1 as a result. Okay. Looking at her dial, We open up with 3 clicks of special speed power, Daughter of Thanos, which gives her charge and flurry. Combine that with that cutting deep trait. Ooh. That thing gives way to 3 clicks of leap climb. We get nothing on defense, but remember she does have traded blades, so there is that. On defense, we open up with 3 clicks of combat reflexes, followed by 3 clicks of invulnerability. Damage-wise, we start off with Outwit, then pick up a couple clicks of probability control, then range combat expert, back to Outwit, and finishing up again with range combat expert. Next up, we've got Proxima Midnight. Proxima here comes in at 100 points. She has the Black Order, Cabal, Minions of Thanos, Assassin, and Cosmic keywords, as well as improved targeting. May make range attacks out of adjacency, including to make range attacks against adjacent opposing characters. She also has the Call Obsidian trait, same as Corvus Glaive. Looking at her dial, she's got a few clicks of Running Shot, followed by a couple clicks of Charge, finishing up with a couple clicks of Flurry. On attack, we open up with a special power, the Spear of Proxima Midnight, which gives her Penetrating Psychic Blast. When she uses it, a hit character gains immobile until your next turn. Okay. That thing gives way to 4 clicks of Precision Strike. On defense, we open up with a few clicks of a couple clicks of invulnerability, followed by a few clicks of combat reflexes, and ending with some super senses. Finally, on damage, we open up with nothing, but she picks up some mid-dial exploit weakness, followed by some late to end dial perplex. Okay, not too shabby. I wouldn't say she's great, but yeah, she can be very useful, and she does have some solid combat values. I mean, hell, her attack doesn't drop below a 10, which is definitely a nice thing, and that the fact that it goes from 11, 10, 10 back up to 11 before sticking at 10 for the rest. That's really not bad at all. Next up, we've got Ebony Maw. You might remember this guy as the jerk-off who tortured Doctor Strange in Infinity War. Honestly, I really liked him in that. He was fun. Anyway, Maw comes in at 100 points. He has the Black Order, Cabal, Minions of Thanos, and Cosmic keywords, as well as the Call Obsidian trait, as well as the second trait, Rejoice and surrender your lives to Thanos. Mind control, poison. When Ebony Maw uses poison, all characters that he has hit with mind control this turn are considered to be adjacent to him. Okay, alright. Now looking at his dial. First thing to notice is he's got 8 range with 3 targets. So you combine that with traded mind control. Oh boy, yeah, he's that can give you, potentially speaking, 3 additional targets every turn for mind control. On speed, we got a full dial of stealth. On attack, we open up the special power Perfect Telekinesis, giving him, well, telekinesis. And when he uses it to make an object attack, modify his attack by +2 and increase the damage by 1. Okay. This thing gives way to a few clicks of Incapacitate. On defense, we open up with 4 clicks of Super Senses, followed by 2 clicks of Mastermind. On damage, we open up the special power Your powers are inconsequential compared to mine, which grants him Outwit and Perplex. When he uses either to target an opposing character once per turn after resolutions, you and that opponent each roll a d6. If your result is higher, Ebony Maw may target that same character with that same power an additional time this turn. That could be very useful, especially if you're going after someone with multiple damage reducers. Say if you want to maybe flurry them with someone, you could. Well, first you can, all right, well, take care of the first one. But if you hit with that first attack, well, they're going to pick up another reducer. So, but if you succeed on the die roll, you can outwit the next reducer. Anyway, the special power then gives way to a couple late dial clicks of Outwit. Not too shabby in the slightest for 100 points. Next up, we've got Black Dwarf, or Color Obsidian if you like. Biggie comes in here at 105 points. He has the Black Orb, means of Thanos and Warrior keywords, and the Color Obsidian trait. As he's an older figure, he does not have his dial on the back of his card. But we open up with a special speed power, I Shall Never Fail You Again, which allows him to use Charge and Flurry. That then gives way to some regular charge. On attack, we've got Seismic Slam, allowing you to Quake at Super Strength. When he uses Quake, choose up to 2 hit characters to be dealt 3 damage instead of 2 and knocked back 3 squares. Okay. That thing is way to Blaze Claw's Fangs. He's got Indomitable on defense, so that's nice. Opens up with Invincible, followed by Impervious. And we'll take a quick peek at least his opening click there. The only downside of the opening click really is that 3 damage, but I mean, 5 square charge radius, and 11 attack. I mean, 11 attack is actually fairly common nowadays, but still, you know. And we got an 18 defense with an Invincible. Yeah. Finally, we of course have Thanos. And Screet, Chaos Knight. Thanos here comes in at 160 points. Has the Power, Cosmic, and Mystics team abilities, as well as the Minions of Thanos, Negative Zone, and Cosmic keywords. We also have 2 traits. First off is Artifact from the Interdimensional Cosmic Vampire, allowing Thanos to start the game with the Ego Gem equipped. Next we have Screet is as Screet does, and Screet is hard to swat. Free, once per game, generate a Screet Bystander. As with the Screet Bystander, well, phasing, penetrating psychic blast, impervious, and a special damage power, Chaos Might. Perplex, but only to target other characters. When she uses it, she modifies a value by plus or minus 2 instead, then rolls a d6. On a 1 or a 2, the modifier becomes 0 instead. Also, of note, she has Autonomous. So, looking at Thanos' dial, and we'll get into the Ego Gem here in a moment, as well as the other gems we'll be including on this build. Looking at his dial, we open up with 4 clicks of Sidestep, followed by 3 clicks of Hypersonic Speed, followed by 2 clicks of Running Shot. On attack, we start off with nothing, but he picks up the special attack power. Genocide is not what Mistress Death desires, but it's what the Maker's followers deserve. Precision Strike. As a free action, make an attack targeting an opposing character, but only if there's another opposing character with the same name on the map. When Thanos KOs a character, after resolutions KO all bystanders generated by that character, then heal him 1 click for each bystander KO'd this way. That's pretty nice. So we get 2 blocks of that, a 2-click block to start early in the dial, and a 3-click block in the middle of the dial. We get some end dial pulse wave. Defensively speaking, he's got Power Cosmic, so he's basically got Indomitable. We start off with Invincible, followed by Impervious, followed by Invulnerability. On damage, we open up with a special power, the Biological Application of Cosmic Power. Perplex, but only to target other characters. When Thanos uses it to target a friendly character, that character can use the Power Cosmic Team ability until your next turn. When Thanos uses it to target an opposing character, that character can't use Willpower or Protected Outwit until your next turn. So, he can either give a friendly character Power Cosmic or take it away from an opposing character. This thing gives way to some mid-dial support, which, in case you're curious, is justified as Thanos the Samaritan. Now, of course, this is Thanos we're talking about, so we got some Infinity Gems. First off, we have the Ego Gem, which Thanos begins the game equipped with. The Ego Gem allows the equipped character to be equipped with any number of Infinity Gems from the Black Panther and the Illuminati set with different names. Also, they can be given a free action to modify a combat value by +1 until your next turn. Next up is the Power Gem. The Power Gem modifies the equipped character's damage by +1 and gives them close combat expert and range combat expert. When this character hits, if the attack roll was 10 or higher, after resolutions, a hit target is dealt 1 penetrating damage. Okay, so that can be nice. Next up, we've got the Soul Gem, because, well, Thanos has got soul, believe it or not. Soul, well, that's questionable, but he's got soul. In gem form, sometimes. The Soul Gem, the equipped character's defense is modified by +1, and the equipped character also gains Steel Energy, but not just with close attacks, but also range attacks. When this character hits, if the attack roll was 10 or higher, after resolutions, heal a click, and that is in addition to the click that will be healed from Steel Energy. So, if he's on, say, click 4, and he hits an opposing character, well, first off, he'd Steel Energy himself a click back. Then he gets another click back if he rolled a 10 or higher. Finally, we have the Mind Gem. Mind Gem increases attack by 1 and grants mind control and incapacitate. When this character hits it on a 10 or higher, after resolutions, they can use mind control at no cost. And they can repeat if you keep rolling a 10 or higher. Thanos doesn't have 3 targets. In fact, Thanos only has 1 target, but still, you could zap someone, then you mind control it. You mind control someone else at no cost. After he heals 2 clicks and deals the hit target an additional damage. So they're still around, and you either way, mind control someone. If the target is still, if the character you went after is still there, and let's say you roll an 11 on that mind control. Well, okay. So first off, your boy, you do the whole mind control thing, and hell, maybe you get to actually take out the character you initially attacked, but got a 10 or higher again. Okay, so give that character 1 pen. Then if Thanos still is at top dial, heal him up 1. Mind control someone else. Then go after the guy you just mind controlled. Lather, rinse, repeat. Just keep on going. Alright, next up, we've got ourselves an Avengers team because, hey, why not have the Avengers go up against a whole bunch of Iron Mans? We just assume that Tony is gone a little nuts. Probably back on the sauce. Okay, that was actually a terrible thing to say, but I mean, it briefly happened in Fear Itself. He did to gain an audience with Odin, debase himself by guzzling a bottle of scotch really quick and hoping to, basically to humiliate himself so that, Odin would say, okay, fine, let's talk. Anywho, so this Avengers team, first off, we've got Voyager. You may be asking yourself, who the hell is Voyager? Well, first and foremost, she is the Grandmaster's daughter. She was a major player in the No Road Home and Long Road. I think it was No Surrender and No Road Home stories. After No Surrender, she actually was. It was decided that, since she turned against her father to help the Avengers, yeah, okay, she gets Avenger status. Anyway, Voyager comes in at 50 points, has the Power Cosmic and Avengers team abilities as well as the Avengers, Elders of the Universe, and Cosmic keywords. She also has 2 traits. First off, I sense a greater challenge. At the beginning of the game, if an opponent's force includes an additional game element, heal Voyager 1 click past her starting line to click 0. There's in a list of current additional game elements for standard, but as this is not a standard game, yeah, that's going to cover a lot of stuff. Next up, we have Avengers Assemble. Passenger 1 or Passenger 3, but only carry characters that share a keyword with her. And she may carry characters with the flight symbol or the giant symbol. Okay, alright. Looking at her dial. So if we start her off on click number 1 instead of click number 0, we get a full run of phasing teleport. We get a single click of the special attack power, straining light powers of teleportation, which gives her telekinesis, but only to place characters. When she uses it, neither she nor the target character's square need line of fire to the destination square. That's really good. She then gets regular telekinesis. We got some inertial deflection. Well, a single click of that. A couple clicks of perplex, followed by a couple clicks of outwit. Click 0 gives her more phasing teleport. The power of teleportation, special power, inertial deflection, and starting with outwit instead of perplex. Next up, we've got Black Leopard. Black Leopard here comes in at 50 points. He has the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Wakanda, Ruler, and Warrior keywords, as well as improved movement towards hindering terrain, and a trait to fight for equality in Rudyarda. The maximum attack, defense, and damage values of opposing characters within 6 squares in line of fire are equal to Black Leopard's printed value of that type. Okay. That is actually very useful, and part of why he is considered to be a meta figure. Looking at his dial, we open up with a couple clicks of charge on speed, followed by a couple clicks of flurry, followed by some late dial stealth. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of blades, claws, fangs, followed by a couple clicks of precision strike. Defense, we've got indomitable, always a good thing. Opens up with a few clicks of combat reflexes, followed by super senses. On damage, we open up with special power, reminders of how they view even a king. Leadership, perplex. When Black Leopard uses perplex to target himself, modify the chosen value by +2 instead. Instead, if an opposing character within 6 squares in line of fire has a higher printed value for the chosen value than Black Leopard's printed value. Which, that's another thing to keep in mind. That does not affect the trait, because it does make a point of saying the printed value. It says nothing about adding modifiers. It simply says the printed value. If it states printed value, it means the printed value. Then that thing gives way to the 3 clicks of regular perplex. Next up, we've got Miles Morales, Spider-Man. I do feel a little bad about this, because the main reason he's here is because he has the ultimate team ability. Anyway, Spider-Man comes in at 65 points, has the Spider-Man Ally and Ultimates team abilities. Spider-Man Ally makes him a wild card. Ultimates gives him improved movement and targeting North hindering terrain. Keyword-wise, we've got Avengers, Champions, Shield, Spider-Man Family, and Ultimates. He also has improved movement towards elevated terrain. He can start the game with Dimensional Watch, but there's no one else with the Spider-Man Family keyword on the team, so I have not to bother with it. Looking at his dial, we open up with 3 clicks of the special speed power, a slightly different genetically engineered spider, which gives him plasticity, sidestep, and stealth. We then get some late dial charge, and then back to the special speed power. On attack, we open up the special attack power, Shocking Web Blast, which gives Spider-Man precision strike when he is given a move action and moves 5 squares or less after resolutions. He can use Incapacitate as range at no cost, and may use it to target all opposing characters within range and line of fire. That then gives way to a couple clicks of Super Strength, and then back to the special power. On defense, we open up with 3 clicks of Super Senses, followed by 3 clicks of Combat Reflexes. And yes, that's an 18, so up close on that last click, he basically has a 20 defense. On damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Outwit, and we end with a couple clicks of Shape Change. Not too shabby in the slightest. Next up, we've got Agent Coulson. The Son of Cole here comes in at 75 points, has the Shield team ability, as well as the Avengers, Shield, Soldier, and Spy keywords. We also have a trait, Field Team Backup. If he's attacking a single character, if another friendly character with this trait has line of fire to the target, Coulson can use probability control. He's the only one with the trait, so yeah. As he has an older dial, we can't really look at the dial itself. But he opens up with running shot on speed, followed by stealth. On attack, we open up with special power, field testing some new tech. Agent Coulson can use energy explosion and penetrating psychic blast. This then gives way to incapacitate. On defense, we open up with toughness, which then gives way to combat reflexes. On damage, we open up with special power, agent level 7. Agent Coulson can use leadership and enhancement. When he uses leadership and succeeds, he may instead remove an action token from up to 2 friendly characters that share a keyword with him. This then gives way to some Empower later on the dial. And then we'll take a quick peek at his opening click. Honestly, he is more of a support figure for this team. But yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby at opening click. Next up, we've got Wasp. So the Winsome Wasp comes in at 75 points, has the Avengers team ability, as well as the Avengers, Lady Liberators, Wakanda, Celebrity, Scientist, and Spy keywords, as well as 2 traits, Assembled Avengers. Once per turn, when she hits after resolutions, roll a d6. On a 5 or a 6, if your force has 3 or more characters with the Avengers keyword, remove an action token from Wasp, or give an action token to a hit target. If your force has 6 or more, do both. Next, and we also have the Espionage trait, which grants her stealth, as well as improved movement and improved targeting, hindering terrain. Three traits, not 2, 3. Finally, we have Wasp-sized Annoyance. Opposing characters within 5 squares can't use improved targeting abilities. That is very useful, and will likely be extremely useful against this team. Well, the Iron Legion team, basically. Looking at her dial, at first we go back and forth between sidestep and running shot for a little bit, before finishing up with focusing on running shot. On attack, we open up with penetrating psychic blast, then incapacitate, back to penetrating psychic blast, before we finish up with a couple clicks of incapacitate. On defense, she's got super senses, followed by a couple clicks of willpower. Damage-wise, she's tiny, so she can be, even though she's a flyer, she can be carried by standard or larger figures. We open up with 3 clicks of leadership, followed by 2 clicks of perplex. Okay, alright. Now, you remember how I mentioned one of the main reasons that Spider-Man was on the team because of his ultimate team ability? Well, this is why. Hawkeye. Hawkeye here comes in at 75 points, has the team player wildcard team ability, so he can copy ultimates. He also has the Avengers, Shield, Thunderbolts, and Martial Artist keywords, and improved targeting may make range attacks out of adjacency, including the target adjacent opposing characters. We also have 2 traits, Assembled Avengers, same as Wasp, and not tricks, tactical, which grants him precision strike. Hawkeye may use his precision strike and or ranged combat expert even while targeting more than one target. Now looking at his dial, we open up with 2 clicks of special speed power Hawkeye, which grants him running shot, sidestep, and stealth. We get a 3-click block of just plain sidestep and back to the special power. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of incapacitate, followed by a few clicks of energy explosion, and back to incapacitate. Defensively speaking, we open up with willpower, which then gives way to a few clicks of energy deflection, and then back to willpower. Damage-wise, we start off with a couple clicks of leadership, followed by 4 clicks of ranged combat expert. Now, he does not, however, have the espionage trait or any way of seeing through hindering terrain, which is why Miles is on the team because of which is why basically Miles is partially on the team just because of the ultimate team ability, which he can then give to Hawkeye. Hawkeye can then ignore hindering terrain. Alright. And especially seeing as how he's got 7 range and 3 targets, yeah. Ignoring hindering terrain will be very useful for him. Next up, we've got Invisible Woman. The rare one from the Fantastic Four set. Invisible Woman comes in at 75 points, has the Fantastic Four and S.H.I.E.L.D. team abilities, as well as the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Lady Liberators, S.H.I.E.L.D., Celebrity, and Spy keywords. Next up, we also have 2 traits. We have the Formerly Fantastic Four trait, which actually will not be, I can straight up say, will not come into play during this, so I'm not going to bother going over that one. The other trait is called, my power set is really good for espionage, which grants her stealth, as well as improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain. Adjacent friendly characters that share a keyword with her can use stealth and, you guessed it, improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain. Looking at her dial, we open with a few clicks of running shot, followed by a few clicks, or 4 clicks of Force Blast. On attack, we open with the special power I Won't Kill Anyone, which grants her Incapacitate. When she uses it, after resolutions, hit characters modify attack -1 until your next turn. Okay. This thing gives way to 4 clicks of Precision Strike. On defense, we open up with 3 clicks of Inertial Deflection, followed by 4 clicks of Toughness. On damage, we open up with a click of Probability Control, followed by 3 clicks of Perplex. Okay. She is very much a support piece, and while she does have she definitely has her offensive uses. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just really does scream you're going to be wanting her for the prob, giving the improved targeting, and so forth. But still, for what she does, she's good, especially that Incapacitate special power. Next up, we've got ourselves the Sentinel of Liberty himself, Captain America. Cap here comes in at 85 points, has the Avengers team ability, as well as the Avengers, S.H.I.E.L.D., and Soldier keywords. As well as improved movement, ignores hindering terrain and characters. And we have 2 traits. First off is the Assembled Avengers trait, same as Hawkeye and Wasp. Next up is Living Legend. The first time each game, Captain America will be KO'd. Instead, turn to his last non-KO click and roll a d6. Then, heal him equal to half the result. This is protected from Pulse Wave, so if he will be KO'd through a use of Pulse Wave, he still gets to do that, as Pulse Wave does straight up say ignores all other game effects. And of course, some things do say, hey, protected Pulse Wave, so you're good here. Looking at Cap's dial, we open with a couple clicks of Running Shot, followed by a click of Sidestep. Then a couple clicks of Charge, and we finish up with more Sidestep. In the middle is where all the attack powers are, instead of at the beginning and end. Or instead of also at the beginning and end, I should say. We start off with a couple clicks of Precision Strike, followed by a couple clicks of Quake. Defensively speaking, he's got Indomitable, so that built-in willpower, Cap should have. Also of note, 3 targets and 6 range. We then, after Impervious, we click into Inertial Deflection, followed by Combat Reflexes. On damage, we open up a special power. Let's finish this, Avengers, which grants Cap leadership. When he rolls a 6 for leadership or the assembled Avengers trait, until your next turn, friendly characters can't have their combat values negatively modified. That's very useful. Anyway, that special power then gives way to 3 clicks of Close Combat Expert. And yeah, this cap is slowly becoming my go-to Captain America. For a while, my go-to was the Civil War Gravity Feed, Civil War movie Gravity Feed one. But the more I use this new one, honestly, the more I like it. Man, his stats are a teensy bit better. So yeah. Next up, we've got War Machine coming in at 100 points. Rhodey here has the Avengers and Shield team abilities, as well as the Avengers Initiative, Shield, Stark Industries, Armor, Soldier, and Warrior keywords, as well as improved targeting, ignores enemy terrain, and can make ranged attacks out of adjacency, including the target adjacent opposing characters. We also have 2 traits. First off is Assembled Avengers, just like Cap, Hawkeye, and Wasp. Next up is Minigun Target Lock. This is actually a really fun one for him. When War Machine hits, after resolutions, you may give a hit target a target lock token, then remove all other target lock tokens. As a free action, make a range attack using War Machine's printed attack and damage value, but only to target the character with the target lock token. So no perplexing up attack and damage to do even better with that free attack. No, you want to perplex up attack and damage, do that for the first attack. Then, yeah. Anyways, looking at his dial, we open with a couple clicks of Run Shot, followed by a couple clicks of Sidestep. Did some late dial Earthbound Neutralized. Then on attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Penetrating Psychic Blast. We end with a couple clicks of Precision Strike. On defense, we've got Indomitable, which is always nice, except for on those last couple of clicks because of Earthbound Neutralized. But we open up power-wise with a couple clicks of Invincible, followed by a couple clicks of Impervious, and wrapping things up with a couple clicks of Invulnerability. On damage, we open up with special power Variable Threat Response, which grants War Machine Perplex, but only to target himself. This then gives way to a few clicks of Range Combat Expert. Okay, alright. Honestly, not too shabby in the slightest. Solid figure. Probably the best. Honestly, probably the best War Machine to date. And the fact that he's only 100 points is honestly just kind of a shocker. I still feel that the Shifting Focus Iron Mans were undercosted at 75 points apiece, but whatevs. Next up, we've got Captain Marvel. Honestly, one of the best modern figures in the game. And probably one of, if not the best, Carol Danvers figure in the game. And that includes the various binaries, the various versions of her as Ms. Marvel. Yeah, I would say probably the only Ms. Marvel figure that's based on Carol that might be close to as good as this figure is the Skrullified version of her from Secret Invasion, which isn't Carol, but rather a Skrull pretending to be Carol, and that's why. She's got shape change, she's got stealth, she's got hypersonic. Yeah, she's kind of a beast. I mean, this was a hypersonic figure made after the hypersonic nerf, and for a good long while, she was friggin' meta as hell, just because hypersonic. Oh, she doesn't have shape. Well, technically she does, but Skrull team ability. Anyway, Captain Marvel comes in at 150 points. Has the Alpha Flight, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Kree, Cosmic, and Soldier keywords. We've also got 2 traits: Assembled Avengers, just like War Machine, Cap, Hawkeye, and Wasp. And my cat is not a flirkin. Free. Once per game, generate a Chewy bystander. which Chewie bystander, by the way. We got a special speed power. Maybe it is a Flurkin. Flurry, Plasticity, Giant Reach of 2. Blaze Claw's Fangs, Super Senses, and Perplex. Looking at Carol's dial, we open up with a special speed power higher, which is her hypersonic speed. When she uses it, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to an opposing character she moved through. If that character is a vehicle, deal it 3 penetrating damage instead. This thing gives... After a couple clicks of that, we get a click of Running Shot, another click of Higher, then 2 more clicks of Running Shot, a couple clicks of Charge, 1 final click of Higher at the very end. On attack, we open up with... We've got 3 clicks of Penetrating Psychic Blast, which correspond with those 3 clicks of Running Shot, and then 2 clicks of Quake. On defense, she's got Indomitable, so that's good. Built-in willpower is always nice, as I keep saying. But we open up with Impervious, which then gives way to a stop click. Keep standing up. Invincible, Captain Marvel has Protected Outwit. Okay. That thing gives way to a couple clicks of Invulnerability, then keep standing up. A couple clicks of Toughness, keep standing up. Damage-wise, we open up with... Basically, we get 3 different blocks where it goes Probability Control, Nothing, Perplex. Probability Control, Nothing, Perplex. Probability Control, Nothing, Perplex. Still, worth the 150 points, easily. Great figure. Yeah, there's a reason she makes this team. She made the team so easily. Finally, we've got Thor Odinson. This is the title character Thor from the Mighty Thor set a few years back. Comes in at 175 points, has the Asgardian, Avengers, and Warrior keywords. First off, we're just going to take a quick look at the dial. We got 3 clicks of hypersonic speed, followed by 2 clicks of running shot, and 3 clicks of charge. We open up and end with 3 clicks each. 3 clicks of super strength, with 2 clicks of precision strike in the middle of or in between those 3 click blocks of super strength. Defense, we've got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. We open up with a 19 and Invincible. Drops one. We keep the Invincible for another click, then we get 3 clicks of Invulnerability, followed by 3 clicks of Impervious. It is interesting when that happens. Usually, you start if you're going to have an Impervious after Invincible. It's usually kind of a gradual upgrade, rather than going Invincible, Invulnerability, Impervious. But hey, whatever. So his title character abilities. And some of the title character rules. We're not going to read the whole shebang on title characters. You have 1 on your team. You put plot. He starts off with 3 plot points. You can add plot points to him. At the end of your turn, if Thor activated a plot ability but didn't make an attack, he takes 1 unavoidable damage. That's true of all title characters. When he's KO'd, friendly characters can't move or make attacks during your next turn. Oof. Gotta make sure he doesn't get KO'd then. So we've got 3 plot abilities. One is activated by adding a plot point. Bring the Lightning. Free. When Thor target hits a single opposing character with a range attack this turn, after resolutions, once per turn, he may make a ranged attack targeting a different opposing character. Okay. Now, if you remove 1, you've got Restore the Lost Asgardians. Place adjacent another friendly character with the Asgardian keyword. If you do, heal both Thor, Odinson, and that character 1 click. I don't think anyone else on the team has Asgardian, so that's not going to really come into play. Finally, if you remove 8, we've got God of Thunder. As a free action for the rest of the game, as long as Thor Odinson is on the map, When an opposing character would get an action token, it gets 2 action tokens instead. Okay, all right. That can be very useful, especially if you're hitting someone with who doesn't have willpower or indomitable or power cosmic, Q continuum, quintessence, and so forth. So yeah. Now we do also have 3 pieces of equipment. First off, the intent is to put this one on Thor. We've got Frey. Frey is the sword of Balder, one of the other Asgardians. It comes in at 7 points. The equipped character gains Blaze Claw's Fangs, and its minimum result is the character's printed damage value. So starting off, that means that Thor Odinson with Frey would be dealing a minimum of 4 damage using blades. Next up, we've got the Beetle Pod. The Beetle Pod ideally will go on Hawkeye. Grants the flight ability, toughness, as well as modifying speed +2. So that's pretty handy. It increases his threat range, basically making it so that his running shot stealth sidestep power, you could sidestep 2, starting off, by the way. You could sidestep him out for 2. Then, since he's got a printed 9, that would give him a 5. Means he can running shot up to. He can move up to 5 before shooting up to 7 away. Well, with the speed +2, you replace then modify, so that would be 7. Sidestep 2, then run out 7, shoot for an additional 7. So that gives him effectively a 16 square threat range. Also, it's kind of like giving him just, full move running shot, because he's got a printed 9. And it also makes Hawkeye a little less squishy because he doesn't have any damage reducers. And finally, we've got the Octopus Arms. The Octopus Arms are actually going to go on Black Leopard ideally. They cost 10 points. They grant Giant Reach 2, Flurry, as well as improved movement, ignores elevated terrain and hindering terrain. Now, Black Leopard already ignores hindering terrain, but being able to ignore elevated will be nice. And more likely than not, he's probably going to be kept adjacent to Invisible Woman. That way she can just keep giving him that improved targeting, so that he can, in the event of having to deal with anyone in stealth, he can just be like, yeah, I see all you stealthy bastards. But the combination of Flurry, Charge, Flurry, and Blades is always a fun combination after all. Anyway, that is it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You know what? Actually, in the comments, for those who feel like commenting, let me know which team you think I should use. The Thanos team or the Avengers team? Let me know. Also, or let me know on Twitter. Let me know on Facebook. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.